What's up, Crypto Club? Louis here, and today I'm bringing the crypto news of the day. Today's date is the 6th of April 2018, and I'm going to bring you everything to do with cryptocurrency in the last 24 hours. Starting off with the market for the day, it currently sits around $248 billion as cryptocurrency suffers another day of red. As you can see, the majority of coins in the top 100 are negative. If we look at the top 5 as well, you can see Bitcoin's down around 2.48%, Ethereum's down around 3%, Ripple's down 4.5%, Bitcoin Cash down around 3.82%, a Litecoin down around 4% on the day. For the top growers, we have Bitcoin Diamond up around 23%, Digital up around 13.68%, Omar's Go up around 4.44%, Ravane up around 4.15%, and Seacoin up around 3.29%. If we look at the worst performers of the day, we have Centrality down around 26% thereabouts, Kin down around 13.61%, Veritaseum's down around 13.26%, Argos down around 9.75%, and Dent is down around 7.5%, around 237 GMT give or take. So since yesterday, it's dropped about $10 billion in market cap. But let's get into the first news story I have for you today, and this is about Poland having the strictest tax laws we have currently seen. So the Polish Ministry of Finance has just published guidelines for taxes on crypto 3 weeks before the deadline for tax report. So according to them, crypto is treated as a commodity and you're required to pay 1% of the total value of the transaction, even crypto to crypto, just like you would pay for selling or buying a used car or yacht. But wait, there's more. If for each transaction you try to make, you're obliged to fill out a special paper form and send it to the tax department. So for every transaction, you have to fill out a separate form on a special paper and send it straight to the tax department and claim every single transaction. Imagine having a bot which makes 100 trades for you with your total capital each day. Yep, you have to pay 100% tax worth of your portfolio and fill in 100 papers, 100 separate papers. But wait, there's more. On top of that, you have to pay your normal income tax on any gains at the end of the year, 18 or 32% depending on your income. Viva the revolution. So this comes from the Reddit user Machacho PL, so thanks for that, clearing that up. People seem to be kind of out of I think this is out of order, to be honest. It seems like it's way too strict in terms of tax laws, and especially filling out these separate papers for every single crypto transaction just seems like overkill. And also, this person mentions at the bottom, he forgot to mention there, that basically the 1% tax you have to pay is required even on a losing transaction. So it's not even based on capital gains. So even if you make money or lose money on crypto, they don't care. They still want you to pay the 1% tax on that exchange, which is interesting enough. And people are saying it's absurd. The Polish government is just taking the piss. And people are just so annoyed with this whole tax law. So obviously, if you live in Poland, I feel sorry for you because you have to deal with such tax laws, and tax day is coming up and you're going to have to deal with a lot of crap coming then. Next thing we'll talk about here is Wall Street Bitcoin bull Tom Lee predicts massive overflow of crypto before tax day. So this refers to tax day in the US, which is coming around 17th of April, I believe. And this is basically Tom Lee predicting there's going to be a massive outflow or sell-off of cryptocurrency to fiat leading up into the tax day in the US, probably to pay off all the taxes from capital gains and other holdings. Interesting to see there, because we could see a dip that we've never seen before. We could see a dip that's going to go further and further into the hole than we've ever seen before, and we could hit the lowest point of our crash that we've ever seen before. And hopefully after this happens, it can finally increase, because I'm sure a lot of people were predicting this day and anticipating a sell-off coming around this day to pay off all the taxes. And hopefully, the market was staying stagnated until that day, and we can experience growth after. I'm just hoping some people, like large firms, anticipated this sell-off, so they held off on buying cryptocurrency and waiting after this for the market to recover fully. But it says here in a Thursday report, Lee notes that since US households owe an estimated of $25 billion in capital gains due to their taxes due to their crypto holdings, and crypto exchanges will owe income taxes as well. Both households and exchanges will be selling their crypto to pay the US government. So the quote comes from here, says, "We believe there is a selling pressure by crypto exchanges who are subject to the income tax in US jurisdictions. Many exchanges have net income in 2017 of more than $1 billion and keep working capital in Bitcoin, Ethereum, not USD. Hence, to meet these tax liabilities, they are selling their Bitcoin and Ethereum, probably other cryptocurrencies as well." According to Lee, historical estimates are each $1 of outflow of USD outflow is $20 to $25 impact on the crypto market value. So the crypto market reports near a 50% losses across the first quarter of 2018, which is also we've all seen and experienced. marking Bitcoin and Ethereum's worst quarter performances in history of the coins. However, anyone that has capitalized on the crypto spike in December 2017 that saw Bitcoin's price rise to $20,000 will need to pay capital gains tax on their earnings. Lee's Bitcoin Misery Index, so he's the one that created the Bitcoin Misery Index, which decides when to actually buy a cryptocurrency based on the misery of the index on the cryptocurrency space, created a mid-March to show how miserable Bitcoin holders are based on the current price, shows that crypto holders are feeling the current feeling of misery, and predicts this is a good time to buy. Regulatory headline risk is still substantial and sentiment remains awful, as measured by our Bitcoin Misery Index, which is still reading misery. Lee concludes that ultimately we expect Bitcoin to find footing after April 17th, tax day, which I said hopefully will come. As I said, I hope a lot of large businesses are holding off and large investors are holding off to buy cryptocurrency because they expect it to hit its very, very lowest around tax day when everyone actually does decide to sell off. So potentially something we could be looking into. If you do more research, it could be a good sort of indication, a good signal that you might want to potentially, I might look into selling my cryptocurrency that I hold now back into fiat currencies and rebuying around tax day when the market might actually decrease in price like a lot of these professionals are predicting. But obviously do more research before making a decision like that, because that is a big decision to make. If you want to skip all the sort of problems and just, you know, hodl on, that might be a good idea as well, because hopefully we can see a full recovery by the end of 2018 and hopefully you can be at a similar place we were early 2018 January time. But it's something to be considering as well if you're really looking to capitalize on your market gains and things like that and really make as much money as you can. But obviously it will require a lot of research to do. Don't take my opinion, I'm not a professional financial advisor, and this Lee guy here obviously has some opinions that aren't always right. Everyone can predict things, but they're not always right. Lee most recently predicted that Bitcoin as well will hit $91,000 by March 2020. Based on Bitcoin's performance after the past market dips. In January of this year, when Bitcoin's price was around $9,000, Lee told CNBC that Bitcoin would hit $25,000 by the end of 2018 instead of 2022, like he had previously predicted. So it's exciting to see Tom Lee's predicting such an amount. And as I said, if you want to skip all the drama, probably just best to hodl on. Next thing I want to talk about here is that ICOs are absolutely not all fraudulent, says the chairman of the SEC. So kind of good news there. So basically claiming that not all cryptocurrency ICOs are fraudulent, which is good to see there. Pretty much sums it up in that title there, but in more detail, the SEC chairman Jay Clayton on Thursday defended the agency's recent regulatory steps on cryptocurrency, arguing that oversight will strengthen the industry. During a talk at Princeton University, Clayton also responded absolutely not to a question whether all ICOs were fraudulent. Obviously, we know all ICOs aren't fraudulent because we've seen some successes in the past. Coinbase reports Clayton went to explain the SEC steps to combat fraud will help the cryptocurrency industry develop, which I agree with. If we had some sort of guidelines on the ICOs so we can sort of cherry pick the ones we actually want to become successful and not going to be exit scams and actually have potential of being great projects in the future that could really benefit the market, and so we can actually invest in ICOs that actually have a potential future, put more money into those ICOs that have a potential future rather than, you know, dispersing the money into potential scams, and we can, you know, pick out the weeds in the actual crop to, you know, get the right ICOs. So the remarks from the SEC's highest ranking official may signal a softening approach to ICOs, which again is great news there because it will be bullish on the idea of ICOs. And as I said, hopefully you can cherry pick them and be more confident on our investments in ICOs when we know which ones are not going to be scams, and we can kind of cherry pick the ones that aren't going to be fraudulent. Next thing I want to talk about here is Coinbase and their moves. So I've got two stories coming from Coinbase here. One's about them having a $1.6 billion cryptocurrency. The $1.6 billion cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase is starting to launch a venture fund. And also another thing I'm talking about, which is the first story I want to talk about referring to Coinbase, is that they're now going to let users withdraw funds from Bitcoin forks. So the cryptocurrency startup Coinbase said Thursday that in the coming months it will let customers withdraw funds resulting from forks of the Bitcoin network. In a blog post, the startup announced that it was adding withdrawal support for the forks through the post did not announce a firm timeline. This change will allow customers to more easily withdraw assets associated with Bitcoin forks across all Coinbase products, the startup wrote, adding, "As always, we look at technical, operational and legal considerations when deciding which Bitcoin fork assets to support, and will always state on our website which particular assets are supported." So it's great news to see that we can finally withdraw Bitcoin fork funds from Coinbase directly. That being said, Coinbase noted it was not supporting announcing support for any specific assets at this time even. So it's confirming that basically it has no plans to announce any additional cryptocurrencies coming on the exchange in the coming few days or months, or however long this time period may seem. Yeah, this is just them basically saying they're going to support Bitcoin forks, and simply just that. They haven't announced anything because people are still waiting for the announcement of like Ripple, for example, to come on Coinbase, as that's been highly anticipated. Some people are predicting it's going to come very soon after they introduce the new employees to take on the new traffic they'd expect if they added it on their exchange. Maybe after tax day as well. Maybe that's when they plan to do it. That might be something interesting to look into. Hopefully they can predict as well, or anticipate that there will be a massive crypto boom after tax day, after we hit our lowest, after the sell-off we're expecting, and maybe that's when they want to sort of jump into the market to gain as much investment they can into the exchange and into Ripple itself. Next thing I want to talk about here is the actual venture fund, which I was talking about before, which is they plan to create an open financial system for the world. So Coinbase, it sums it up here. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it. But Coinbase, the cryptocurrency exchange, is launching a venture fund, the company announced in a blog post Thursday. The San Francisco-based company has been building out its business outside trading, breaking into custody, and now venture capitalist investing. For now, it will not invest in security tokens. So that pretty much sums it up there. They're really extending themselves here. They've expanded into e-commerce. They've expanded into different ventures, and now going into venture funds and venture capitalist investing as a different way. And they also have breaking into custody as well, which is very interesting to see here. And it's very exciting to see Coinbase making loads of news. They really felt the pressure from the competitors like Robinhood Crypto that were directly competing with their actual ease of transactions for cryptocurrency directly at its basis, but they're really trying to open up new revenue streams like the custody plans and also the venture capitalists, so they don't have to be just strapped down to being a cryptocurrency exchange and don't have to compete so much with just that side of things and the commission based exchange. So that is interesting to see there. Hopefully Coinbase can continue to improve, and they're trying to stay relevant. They're dying to stay relevant and holding on for dear life by going into these different ventures. But it's exciting to see them innovate and diversify, because obviously innovation and changes is what makes everything better as companies try to one up each other, and that's what we've seen with the competitors coming at Coinbase with Robinhood Crypto, for example, and other exchanges. Next thing we'll talk about here is Vitalik Buterin attacks another member of the community. Well, I wouldn't say attack, actually. I'll change that statement. I'll say he's defending himself against another member of the community, and this is basically him talking about Tron. So basically, Justin Sun tweeted out to Vitalik Buterin saying why Tron is better than Ethereum. So calling him out directly, giving several points like why Tron's better, as they can have 10,000 transactions per second versus 25 transactions per second, 0V versus high fee. You basically get it. No coin burn on Ethereum versus a consistent coin burn on Tron. So pretty interesting news there. Things we already know pretty much, and it's not necessarily relevant. It kind of came out of nowhere, and therefore Vitalik Buterin was not afraid to actually voice his opinion, like we've seen yesterday or a few days ago at the conference, where he actually called out the person that claims to be Satoshi Nakamoto. And in this tweet, he basically fired back straight in a response to Justin Sun's tweet on Twitter about Tron being better than Ethereum. And he said, number 8, putting a further point that moves on further from number 7 as sort of a joke, saying about the scandal Tron had in the past. Number 8 being better white paper writing capability, Control+C plus Control+V, copy and paste if you didn't know that, much higher efficiency than keyboard typing new content. So if you don't know what this is referring to, this is basically Vitalik Buterin firing back at Tron, calling up the plagiarism attempts of Tron on their white paper back in the day. So this is his way of defending himself and Ethereum from Tron and Justin Sun, as he's not afraid to voice his own opinions and dig up old dirt on Tron, as it's something that won't be forgotten from their plagiarism back in the day on their white paper. And this is his way of voicing his opinion and defending himself, as I said before. And it's nice to see that someone in the cryptocurrency space is not afraid to do so, like we've seen him do before. So it's good to see that, to see some honesty in the cryptocurrency community, and it's nice to see a bit of fire going back and forth. Next thing I want to talk about here is the hacker BitPico, and how he attacks the Lightning Network, or attacked the Lightning Network to make it better. So basically, BitPico confirmed that he's been flooding the Lightning Network nodes with an automated attack toolkit, and this could explain the recent slowing down and transactions not being processed on many channels. So this person, BitPico, basically hacked into the network to improve it. So at first people thought this might be for malicious intent, but then they later found out that no funds were actually being stolen, and it was actually costing the hacker to pull off the stunt, because the hacker BitPico had to pay a small fee for every payment per channel that was opened. That it cost less than a penny per channel, but it definitely adds up over time. So this costed BitPico to pull off this stunt, and this confirms that basically that it was good nature of the attack, because this person did actually come out to say and posted that it was important to ensure that a second layer scaling solutions are not easily hacked into, and BitPico as a Bitcoin investor is helping by doing his part to protect the technology against future attacks, by basically opening up his vulnerabilities and showing bugs that need fixing to protect it from people or hackers in the future that could hack into it for actual malicious intent to steal funds. So people are saying thanks BitPico. So what we understand, it was for good intent. We hopefully can keep it that way. Hopefully it doesn't come out that he actually was trying to steal everyone's money or something. But it does say here the attacks have already spawned a series of preventative measures, as Lightning Labs developers are looking into an additional 22 different attack vectors BitPico helped to reveal. The DOS attack works by opening thousands of micropayment channels on the network. In the current status, the Lightning Network does not allow nodes to disconnect from channels that are thought to be spamming, but thanks to BitPico, that soon may change. So that is great to see that he's actually improving it, and as a Bitcoin investor, he's taken it upon himself to notice these weaknesses and help the development of it going forward, where the developers have obviously fallen short. The last thing I want to talk about today is Verge currency, and basically in response to the recent fiasco we've seen with the network attacks, they will be releasing a new Qt wallet for Windows and Mac OS tomorrow, along with a detailed explanation of the mining exploit they dealt with. They also said thanks for everyone for being so patient, and also cleared up basically they're not having a giveaway as seen from below. It's spam for a scam basically. That's something to clear out. If you ever on these Twitter pages and looking at tweets, in the comments if you ever see a giveaway, it's always a scam, so do not participate in it. But anyway, that's great to see from Verge currency, keeping us up to date with the situation. People are still not really very convinced of it, because you know, people are like forced times the Tron. They've had a lot of problems before, and this is really just a problem stacking on top of problems, and they just keep having to fix things that shouldn't have to be fixed in the first place. But it's good to see that they're actually keeping us updated. And that really concludes the video for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, like the video, and also comment down below what you think of Verge currency and their fixes to the problems, and also what they've dealt with in the recent month. Also the other news that I've talked about today with the Lightning Network, BitPico, Vitalik Buterin and his response. Also, if you like my content as a whole, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification icon to be notified when my next upload, as I do upload cryptocurrency videos on a daily basis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.